First round of the NFL Draft, a multi-million-dollar contract with the Carolina Panthers, top 10 wide receivers of the decade. And that same man hiding inside the trunk of an FBI car 4 days after his pregnant girlfriend died from gunshot wounds inside a Charlotte hospital. Today you're going to know why Rae Carruth ordered the murder of Cherica Adams. Even darker, you're going to know what Cherica Adams said during the 12-minute 911 call that is the most famous in the history of the NFL. Worse still, you're going to know why the baby survived inside the womb of a dying mother, and why grandmother Sandra Adams has spent 26 years raising the child that Rae Carruth ordered killed before he was born. And most important of all, you're going to know why Rae Carruth, 8 years after walking out of prison, still hasn't gone to see his son. But before that, you have to know how Rae Carruth got there. Sacramento, California, year 1974, the capital of the richest state in the country, and a working-class neighborhood on the southeast side of the city where a single mother named Theodore Wiggins lived inside a federally subsidized apartment. That apartment is the place where the man who 25 years later would order the murder of a pregnant woman inside a coordinated ambush on a rural road in South Charlotte, North Carolina, was born. The mother worked cleaning shifts inside Sutter Memorial Hospital in Sacramento, night shift, and she gave birth to the second son of her life in the early hours of January 20th of 1974. The biological father was named Rae Carruth, a maintenance worker, and the man who never crossed the threshold of that subsidized apartment during the first 8 years of the second son's life. 8 years, not a single birthday, not a single Christmas, not a single phone call from the biological father. Rae Lamar Wiggins, second son, the child abandoned by the man whose last name he would carry his entire life. Lock in that name, we'll come back. Rae Carruth became during his high school years the most dominant wide receiver in Northern California. A 40-yard dash of 4.4 seconds, a vertical jump of 44 inches, and an obsession with training 4 hours a day on the practice field of Valley High School in Elk Grove, south of Sacramento. 4.4, 44 inches, 4 hours a day. The University of Colorado at Boulder, coached by head coach Bill McCartney, offered Rae Carruth a full football scholarship in the year 1993. And over the next 4 years, from the wide receiver seat of the Colorado Buffaloes, Rae Carruth became the best receiver in the Big 12 Conference, 4 seasons. A first-team All-American selection in the year 1996 voted by the Associated Press. And a University of Colorado institutional record with 1,422 receiving yards during his senior season. NFL scouts at the NFL Scouting Combine inside the RCA Dome of Indianapolis in February of the year 1997 placed Rae Carruth inside the top 5 wide receivers of the NFL Draft. Top 10 college receivers of the entire decade of the 1990s, and a future inside the first round of the NFL Draft already locked in. On April 20th of 1997, inside Madison Square Garden in Manhattan, NFL Commissioner Paul Tagliabue announced from the official podium of the first round of the NFL Draft the 27th overall pick, the Carolina Panthers of Charlotte, North Carolina, Rae Carruth, wide receiver, University of Colorado, Sacramento, California. Official contract signed on May 14th of 1997, 4 years, $3,644,000. Have you ever wondered what a son abandoned by his biological father carries when he's handed a multi-million-dollar check inside the lobby of a subsidized housing complex in southeast Sacramento where his mother has been cleaning hospital floors on night shifts for years on end? 10 things he carries. The rage against the biological father who never crossed the threshold. The shame of the Carruth last name carried on his chest like a sentence. The sick obsession with proving to the absent biological father that the abandoned son had become the important man his mother had promised. And the silent certainty that neither the $3.6 million contract nor the 27th overall pick of the NFL Draft would ever fill the hole that Rae Carruth had carved inside the chest of Rae Lamar Wiggins. During the first 8 years of the second abandoned son's life, Rae Carruth carried all 10 during the next 24 straight months. The Carolina Panthers gave Rae Carruth jersey number 89, He debuted as starting wide receiver in the opening week of the 1997 season against the Washington Redskins inside Ericsson Stadium in Charlotte. The Carolina Panthers were an NFL expansion franchise with barely 3 seasons of history, founded in the year 1995 by Jerry Richardson, former Baltimore Colts player, and a Carolina's fan base hungry for a young star that could take them to the Super Bowl. Rae Carruth was going to be that star. Rookie season, 44 receptions, 544 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a Pro Bowl nomination as reserve wide receiver of the National Football Conference in the year 1997. 4 touchdowns, 1 rookie, a $3.6 million contract. And during the season of 1998, Rae Carruth tore the anterior cruciate ligament of his right knee. 8 months of rehab, reconstructive surgery inside Presbyterian Hospital of Charlotte. And the 1999 season started with the starting wide receiver seat lost to a young player named Muhsin Muhammad. Rae Carruth became the reserve wide receiver on the Panthers roster, and an almost 0 chance of getting his contract renewed heading into the 2000 season. Rae Carruth was less than 12 months away from the official end of his professional NFL career. Lock in that fact. We'll come back. Rae Carruth met Cherica Adams at the beginning of the year 1999 inside a nightclub in downtown Charlotte. Cherica was 24 years old. She was a real estate agent at a Charlotte firm, only daughter of Sandra Adams, an employee at the Mecklenburg County Finance Department, and a woman raised by a single mother after her biological father walked out of the house when Cherica was 4 years old. An absent biological father, a daughter raised by her mother, a last name carried on the chest. Cherica Adams was carrying inside her own life the same family structure Rae Carruth had carried during the first 8 years inside the subsidized apartment of Southeast Sacramento. Rae Carruth started seeing Cherica Adams inside an unofficial relationship for the next 4 months. In the month of June of 1999, Cherica Adams told Rae Carruth one thing he had not expected to hear. She told him she was pregnant. 8 weeks, a baby, an NFL contract less than 12 months from its official end, and a professional career hanging by a single thread inside the reserve roster of the Carolina Panthers. Rae Carruth asked Cherica Adams to abort the pregnancy. Cherica said no. Have you ever wondered what a reserve wide receiver, 25 years old, with a rebuilt right knee, with a $3.6 million contract less than 12 months from its end, with the starting wide receiver seat lost to Muhsin Muhammad, feels when the 24-year-old woman he's been dating for the last 4 months tells him she's having his baby and refuses to have an abortion? 10 things he feels: the rage, the panic, the silent certainty that his professional career ends inside 12 months, and the sick fear of turning into the absent biological father his own father had been during the first 8 years of the second abandoned son's life inside the subsidized apartment of Southeast Sacramento. Rae Carruth felt all 10 during the next 5 straight months. Lock in those 10. We'll come back. And that refusal from Cherica Adams to have an abortion is the exact reason why Rae Carruth, 5 months and 12 days later, in the early hours of November 16th of 1999, on the rural road called Rhea Road in South Charlotte, ordered the murder of Cherica Adams and of baby Chancellor Lee Adams, because Rae Carruth, in the month of October of 1999, had received the official preliminary papers for the child support agreement of the baby inside Cherica Adams' womb. $2,500 a month in child support until the baby turned 18 years old. $2,500 a month for the next 216 straight months. A reserve wide receiver, a hanging career, and a multi-million-dollar child support obligation for the next 18 years. That is the real reason Rae Carruth ordered the murder of Cherica Adams. A calculator, a man raised by a single mother inside a subsidized apartment of Southeast Sacramento who had decided, inside the office of a family law attorney of Mecklenburg County in the month of October of 1999, that he was not going to repeat the story of Theodis Carruth with a baby Chancellor Lee Adams he had never wanted to meet. Rae Carruth was going to make sure baby Chancellor Lee Adams was never born. And in the early hours of November 16th of 1999, on the rural Rhea Road in South Charlotte, Rae Carruth executed that plan with 4 gunshots inside the body of Cherica Adams. 4 gunshots. That is the number you're going to hear 44 times inside this story. During the months of September and October of 1999, Rae Carruth tried 4 times to convince Cherica Adams to have an abortion. 4 conversations inside Cherica's house in West Charlotte. 4 times the same question, 4 times the same answer. Cherica said no 4 times. And in mid-October of 1999, inside the office of a family law attorney of Mecklenburg County, Rae Carruth signed the preliminary child support agreement for the baby inside Cherica Adams' womb. $2,500 a month, 216 months. Rae Carruth made the decision to kill Cherica Adams inside the lobby of the family law attorney's office in the first week of October of 1999. And from that decision, Rae Carruth needed 3 things to execute the plan without a North Carolina court being able to connect him directly to the ambush: a shooter, a driver, and a backup accomplice. The shooter was named Van Brett Watkins Sr., 44 years old, ex-convict with a prior conviction for aggravated assault, and a nightclub manager in downtown Charlotte that Rae Carruth had known since early 1999. The driver was named Michael Kennedy, a close friend of Watkins. The backup accomplice was named Stanley Abraham, and the man who was going to wait inside the backseat of the vehicle with a second backup weapon in case Watkins missed the first shots inside the BMW of Cherica Adams. 4 men, a plan, an ambush. Rae Carruth paid each of the 3 accomplices $5,000 upfront in October of 1999. $15,000 total wired into the bank account of the shooter Van Brett Watkins Sr., plus a signed promise of an additional $25,000 for each after the plan was executed. $44,000 total, on top of a professional NFL wide receiver with his career hanging less than 12 months from its official end. And with a child support obligation of $2,500 a month for the next 216 straight months, $44,000 today, $5,400,000 saved over the next 18 years. A calculator. During the 2 weeks leading up to the execution of the plan, between November 1st and November 15th of 1999, Rae Carruth publicly recreated the boyfriend relationship with Cherica Adams in front of the American fan base of the Carolina Panthers. He took her to an official NFL game on November 8th against the Atlanta Falcons inside Ericsson Stadium. He took her to dinner at an Italian restaurant in downtown Charlotte on November 12th, and he asked her out on a movie date in downtown Charlotte on November 15th. An NFL game, an Italian dinner, a movie date. Rae Carruth was fabricating in front of the Carolina Panthers fan community the public image of a boyfriend in love who was about to become a present father for baby Chancellor Lee Adams. At the same time, he was preparing the ambush of Rhea Road with the 3 accomplices recruited at the nightclub in downtown Charlotte. On the night of November 15th of 1999, Rae Carruth invited Cherica Adams on the nighttime movie date at a movie theater in downtown Charlotte. Cherica entered the theater 8 months pregnant. They left after midnight. Rae Carruth got into his white Ford Expedition, Cherica Adams got into her black BMW, and they started driving back to Cherica's house on Rhea Road in South Charlotte. Rae Carruth driving ahead, Cherica following behind. 2 cars, a rural road. At 1:38 in the morning of November 16th of 1999, on the rural Rhea Road in South Charlotte, Rae Carruth slammed on the brakes of the white Ford Expedition inside the center lane of the road. Cherica Adams, following him from behind, hit the brakes too. And from the left lane, a 3rd vehicle driven by Michael Kennedy pulled alongside the black BMW of Cherica. Van Brett Watkins Sr. rolled down the rear window, pulled out a 9mm handgun, and unloaded 4 consecutive shots into the driver's side window of Cherica Adams' black BMW. 4 gunshots, a BMW, a pregnant woman, a baby inside the womb. The vehicle of the 3 accomplices disappeared north on Rhea Road. And Rae Carruth, inside the white Ford Expedition parked in front of Cherica's BMW, started the engine, accelerated north, and disappeared from the crime scene. Cherica Adams, from the driver's seat of the black BMW, with 4 bullets inside her body, with her womb pierced by the 4th gunshot, with blood pouring from her neck and her chest onto the dashboard, pulled her cell phone out of the pocket of her dress and dialed 3 numbers. 911 The 911 call came into Mecklenburg County Emergency Dispatch at 11:44 in the morning of November 16th of 1999. It lasted 12 minutes. It is the most famous 911 call in the history of the National Football League. Cherica Adams, with 4 bullets inside her body, with her womb pierced, with her neck bleeding onto the dashboard, stayed conscious during all 12 minutes of the call. She gave the Mecklenburg County dispatcher 8 pieces of information that would be the exact reason why Rae Carruth would be locked inside a North Carolina state prison for the next 18 straight years. She gave the exact location of Rae Road. She described the vehicle the shots came from. She described the white Ford Expedition of Rae Carruth parked in front. She said the full name of Rae Carruth. She said he was the father of the baby inside her womb. She said Rae Carruth had slammed on the brakes of the Ford Expedition in front of her to block her inside the center lane of the road. She said Rae Carruth had started the Ford Expedition and had disappeared from the scene immediately after the 4 gunshots. And she told the dispatcher, according to the official transcript of the call published by the Charlotte Observer during the 20-year anniversary of the murder in the year 2018, that the person who had organized the attack was Rae Carruth. 8 pieces of information. 12 minutes, a dying woman. Rae Carruth had just lost the trial before the police even arrived at the scene. The Mecklenburg County ambulance arrived at Rae Road minutes after the call. Paramedics found Cherica Adams unconscious inside the driver's seat of the BMW. They transported her to Carolina's Medical Center in downtown Charlotte with 4 gunshot wounds and severe hypovolemic shock. The surgeons inside the emergency operating room made an immediate decision. They performed an emergency C-section on Cherica Adams' 8-month pregnancy. The baby was born that morning of November 16th of 1999, 10 weeks premature, with permanent brain damage from lack of oxygen, permanent cerebral palsy. Cherica Adams gave the baby a full name before entering the operating room, Chancellor Lee Adams, without the last name of the absent biological father. Cherica Adams did not give Chancellor the last name Carruth. Cherica Adams entered a coma immediately after the C-section. The surgeons tried to revive her for the next 28 straight days inside the intensive care unit. Cherica Adams died on December 14th of 1999, 28 days after the attack, 24 years old. Rae Carruth had signed a bail agreement in November of 1999 for $3 million, on the strict condition that if Cherica Adams or the baby died, Rae Carruth would turn himself in to the FBI within the next 24 hours. Cherica Adams died on December 14th at 9 in the morning. Rae Carruth had until December 15th of 1999 at 9 in the morning to turn himself in to the FBI. Rae Carruth did not turn himself in. That same afternoon of December 14th, Rae Carruth got into a borrowed car and drove hundreds of miles west on Interstate 40 until he reached a motel in the town of Wildersville, Tennessee. And the next day of the official bail agreement deadline, FBI agents arrived at the motel parking lot after an anonymous tip to the Crime Stoppers line. FBI agents found Rae Carruth hiding inside the trunk of the car, with a duffel bag holding $24,000 in cash, with a water bottle, and with his face pressed against the carpet of the trunk. Rae Carruth, wide receiver of the Carolina Panthers, first round of the NFL draft, hiding inside the trunk of a car in a motel in Wildersville, Tennessee. The trial of the state of North Carolina against Rae Carruth for the murder of Cherica Adams began on October 23rd of the year 2000 inside the Mecklenburg County Superior Court in downtown Charlotte. Van Brett Watkins Sr. testified from the witness stand in front of the Mecklenburg County jury that Rae Carruth had offered him money up front to kill Cherica Adams. That Rae Carruth has said he did not want to pay $2,500 a month in child support for the next 18 years, and that Rae Carruth had personally planned the ambush of Rae Road. Van Brett Watkins Sr. had just put Rae Carruth in prison for life. Rae Carruth's defense attorney was named David Rudolph. Rudolph proposed an alternate theory inside the trial. Rudolph argued that the ambush of Rae Road had not been ordered by Rae Carruth, that it had been the result of a failed drug deal, and that Cherica Adams had died because she was inside the wrong car at the wrong time. A failed drug deal, a pregnant woman inside the wrong car, 8 months pregnant The Mecklenburg County jury did not buy the defense attorney's theory. On January 19th of the year 2001, the jury delivered a compromise verdict. Rae Carruth was found guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, shooting into an occupied vehicle, and use of an instrument to destroy a fetus. The jury did not find Rae Carruth guilty of the more serious charge of first-degree murder. Sentence: 18 to 24 years inside the state prison Sampson Correctional Institution in Clinton, North Carolina. Van Brett Watkins Sr., the shooter, was sentenced to 40 years. Michael Kennedy, the driver, 12 years. Stanley Abraham, the backup accomplice, 4 years. 4 accomplices, 4 sentences. Baby Chancellor Lee Adams left Carolina's Medical Center of Charlotte, North Carolina on the morning of December 31st of 1999. 84 days of neonatal intensive care after the emergency C-section, and with 2 official diagnoses signed by the medical team: irreversible cerebral palsy from perinatal hypoxia, permanent brain damage from lack of oxygen. Chancellor Lee Adams weighed 4 pounds and 4 ounces when he left the hospital. He could not hold up his head, he could not coordinate his arms, he could not swallow, and he could not breathe without a portable oxygen tank. Sandra Adams, Cherica's mother, Chancellor's grandmother, an employee at the Mecklenburg County Finance Department, and the woman who made the decision to raise Chancellor Lee Adams alone. Without help from the absent biological father, without help from the federal government, without the possibility of a normal life for the grandmother, who had just lost her only daughter at 24 years old. A grandmother, a baby, an oxygen tank. The first 10 years of Chancellor Lee Adams' life were a daily battle against his own body. Physical therapy sessions inside Levine Children's Hospital in downtown Charlotte. 4 hours a day, 4 different therapies. Doctors told Sandra Adams at Chancellor Lee Adams' 4th birthday appointment that Chancellor probably would never walk, that he probably would never talk, and that he probably would spend the rest of his life inside a wheelchair. Sandra Adams did not accept that prognosis. And over the next 6 years, Sandra Adams carried Chancellor Lee Adams in her arms to the Pediatric Rehabilitation Center 8 times a week. No exceptions, no rest. And at the age of 10 years old, Chancellor Lee Adams took the first consecutive steps of his life. A child, a grandmother, the first steps of a baby that Rae Carruth had ordered killed before he was born. Have you ever wondered what an American grandmother, 54 years old, carries when she decides, inside the lobby of a Charlotte hospital, to raise alone a grandson with irreversible cerebral palsy after losing her only daughter at 24 years old inside an ambush ordered by the biological father of the premature baby? 10 things she carries. The silent grief for the murdered daughter. The physical weight of an oxygen tank carried inside her handbag 24 hours a day. The certainty that no physical therapy session inside Levine Children's Hospital will ever return the oxygen lost during the 44 minutes the baby was inside a bleeding womb. And the silent decision to never allow the Adams last name to be stained with the Carruth last name on the official birth certificate of the surviving baby. Sandra Adams carried all 10 during the next 26 straight years. Lock in those 10. We'll come back. Chancellor Lee Adams became, inside the African American community of downtown Charlotte, a silent symbol of resistance against the same man who had signed the Carolina Panthers contract inside Madison Square Garden of Manhattan 12 years earlier. And at 16 years old, inside the hallway of Julius B. Chambers High School of West Charlotte, Chancellor Lee Adams walked for the first time in his life without leaning against the walls. He walked alone, without help, at 16 years old. While Chancellor Lee Adams was learning to walk alone for the first time, Rae Carruth, inside the south wing of Sampson Correctional Institution in Clinton, North Carolina, was serving the final years of the 18-year sentence. Rae Carruth did not receive visits, not from his mother, Theodore Wiggins, from the subsidized apartment of Southeast Sacramento, not from the absent biological father, Theodis Carruth, not from a single relative from Sacramento County during the first 14 straight years of the incarceration. 0 family visits, 14 straight years. And in the month of February of the year 2018, 8 months before the official release date, Rae Carruth wrote a 16-page handwritten letter. The letter was addressed to Sandra Adams and to Chancellor Lee Adams. On February 28th of the year 2018, the WBTV television station of Charlotte published the 16 pages Inside a Primetime Special. The ESPN network covered the publication of the letter inside the Outside the Lines program in March of the year 2018. And the Charlotte Observer newspaper published the full text of the letter on March 4th of the year 2018 on the front page of the Sunday edition of the 24th anniversary of the Cherica Adams case. 16 pages, 4 apologies, and a final request on page number 16. Rae Carruth asked Sandra Adams for the opportunity to see Chancellor Lee Adams in person after October 22nd of the year 2018, the first time in 18 years. Sandra Adams received the letter inside the living room of her house in South Charlotte, and she told WBTV of Charlotte 4 words that would mark the history of the Rae Carruth case forever. She said she was willing to keep the door of the South Charlotte house open for the man who had ordered the murder of Cherica Adams 18 years earlier. On October 22nd of the year 2018, a Monday morning, Rae Carruth walked out through the front gate of Sampson Correctional Institution, 44 years old, 17 years and 11 months straight behind the bars. A white SUV was waiting inside the official prison parking lot. Rae Carruth flew that same Monday to Sacramento International Airport of Northern California, back to the working-class neighborhood of Southeast Sacramento, where the biological father, Theodis Carruth, had never crossed the threshold during the first 8 years of the second abandoned son's life. And from that day on, Rae Carruth has not traveled a single time to the city of Charlotte, North Carolina, to see Chancellor Lee Adams. Not a single visit. 8 straight years. Why? Because Rae Carruth, inside the passenger seat of the white SUV that picked him up in the official parking lot of Sampson Correctional Institution on the morning of October 22nd of the year 2018, understood something during the 4 hours of the flight between Raleigh-Durham and Sacramento International. He understood that if he traveled to Charlotte to see Chancellor Lee Adams, he was going to have to look directly into the eyes of the abandoned son he had ordered killed before he was born. And he was going to have to look directly into the eyes of the abandoned son who had survived 24 years under the care of a grandmother who had replaced the absent biological father. Rae Carruth was going to have to look at Chancellor Lee Adams. And inside the eyes of Chancellor Lee Adams, with the irreversible cerebral palsy, with the permanent brain damage, Rae Carruth was going to see Theodis Carruth. He was going to see the absent biological father from the subsidized apartment of Southeast Sacramento who had never crossed the threshold during the first 8 years of the second son, Ray Lamar Wiggins' life. And he was going to see, inside the same mirror, Ray Lamar Wiggins, the abandoned son who had become the absent biological father who had never crossed the threshold to see Chancellor Lee Adams during the first 24 years of the surviving baby's life. Rae Carruth had become Theodis Carruth, and that silent realization, inside the passenger seat of the white SUV on the highway east of North Carolina on the morning of October 22nd of the year 2018, is the exact reason why Rae Carruth, 8 years after walking out of Sampson Correctional Institution, still has not gone to see his son Chancellor Lee Adams inside the neighborhood of South Charlotte, where Sandra Adams keeps waiting with the door of the house open. Because going to see Chancellor Lee Adams would mean admitting that Ray Lamar Wiggins never stopped being the abandoned son of the Southeast Sacramento subsidized apartment, and that the Carruth last name, the last name of the absent biological father, that Theodri Wiggins, changed inside the living room of that subsidized apartment when the second son was 8 years old, became, 44 years later, the last name that Chancellor Lee Adams will never carry on his chest. The Adams last name. Without Carruth, Chancellor Lee Adams graduated from Julius B. Chambers High School of West Charlotte, North Carolina in June of the year 2021, wearing the official royal blue graduation gown, on the stage of Bojangles Coliseum in downtown Charlotte, and with Sandra Adams sitting in the 4th row of the Coliseum bleachers. Chancellor Lee Adams walked alone across the stage of Bojangles Coliseum, picked up the official high school diploma, and returned to the graduate seat without the help of a single professional caregiver. A diploma, a stage, a grandmother, and on November 14th of the year 2025, Chancellor Lee Adams celebrated his 26th birthday with Sandra Adams by his side. Chancellor Lee Adams, 26 years old, survivor of the ambush of Rae Road on November 16th of 1999. Raised by a grandmother who replaced the murdered mother and the incarcerated father, and the baby that Rae Carruth had ordered killed before he was born inside Cherica Adams' womb. Alive. Walks, talks, smiles, sings inside the choir of Mount Olive Church, and calls Cherica Adams Mommy Angel since he was 4 years old. Mommy Angel. That name that Sandra Adams taught the grandson inside the living room of the South Charlotte house at 4 years old is the exact reason why Chancellor Lee Adams, 26 years after the ambush of Rae Road, is still waiting inside the living room of the South Charlotte house for the biological father who ordered him killed before he was born. Sandra Adams keeps the door open. Rae Carruth still has not crossed the threshold. 18 years in prison, 8 years of freedom, and an open door that Rae Carruth has not crossed during the last 26 straight years of the abandoned son's life, just like Theodis Carruth with Ray Lamar Wiggins. That is Rae Theodis Carruth, the son of Theodre Wiggins from the subsidized apartment of the Southeast Sacramento neighborhood, the child abandoned by his biological father during the first 8 years of his life, the most dominant wide receiver in Northern California at the high school level, the first team All-American of the University of Colorado in the year 1996, the first round of the NFL Draft of the year 1997, the multi-million-dollar contract with the Carolina Panthers, and the man who ordered the murder of 24-year-old Cherica Adams and 8-month gestation Chancellor Lee Adams with 4 gunshots on rural Rae Road in South Charlotte, North Carolina, in the early hours of November 16th of 1999 to save himself $5,400,000 in child support over the next 216 straight months. $5,400,000. A calculator. Rae Carruth understood, inside Sampson Correctional Institution during the first 14 years of the sentence, that the real price of that calculator was not the $5,400,000 he saved on child support payments. It was the 26 years of a surviving son's entire life that Rae Carruth has never gone to see inside the living room of the South Charlotte house. Just like Theodis Carruth with Ray Lamar Wiggins during the first 8 years of the second abandoned son's life inside the subsidized apartment of Southeast Sacramento, Rae Carruth became the absent biological father he himself carried on his chest during the first 8 years of his own life. And that is the real price of the calculator. If this story moved something inside you, if you felt the weight of a single mother raising alone a son abandoned by his biological father inside a subsidized apartment of Sacramento, if you thought about a 24-year-old pregnant woman making a 911 call for 12 straight minutes with 4 bullets inside her body, if you remembered a grandmother carrying a premature baby with irreversible cerebral palsy for 26 straight years, subscribe to Fallen Stars right now. And leave us in the comments whether you think Rae Carruth should cross the threshold of the South Charlotte house to see Chancellor Lee Adams before it is too late. See you in the next video. And if you or someone close to you is going through an emotional crisis, call the National Suicide and Crisis Lifeline for free at 988 every day, anytime. You are never alone.